Well, at the airport and got a bag to carry on, heading up to Manchester, New Hampshire to meet my friend and drive up to the trail. Well, here we are at the scene of the crime where we stopped the last time, and now I am going on. So, looking forward to getting done with the rest of the 100-mile wilderness. This is here dropping me off. So I'm gonna get the bag and get her going. Well, after much debating, we figured out that that's the right direction. Sometimes you just gotta double check. Beautiful day to start this section from Mary Jo Road down to Wilson Falls, which is the only part of the 100-mile wilderness I have left to complete, about 52 miles. Should have her done in 3.5 days. So, happy about that. But this is a fairly easy part of the trail. Temps, probably mid-50s, sunny. Plenty of mosquitoes. Just slapped one. So, if you like bloodthirsty things, this would be a good hike for you. Well, there is a nice breeze helping to keep some of them away. I'm at Copperbrook Falls Lean-To. It's down there. Not going there. I'm heading to Loganbrook Lean-To. 11.5 miles. 11.5 miles. And it's close to noon, so I'll be there 6 or 7. It's going to be a little slow on the last part. There's a little bit of a climb. But haven't seen anybody today yet. It's pretty quiet out here. Not any people. It's not people-y. About 4 miles in. It's a pretty little stream. So far, so good. It's actually a little on the cool side, which is nice compared to when I was hiking on the Benton MacKay and it was so hot. So, don't use near the water when it's this cool out. Yeah, about 12 more miles to go and get started till late. So, that's probably going to be late when I get there. Plenty of these boards to walk on in 100-mile wilderness. Oh my goodness. Gotta be careful when these are wet because they get slippery. So, you get to see some moose tracks alongside the boards. No moose yet, but I almost fell off into the mud. But everybody says they've seen them, and there definitely is signs that they're here. So the trail just comes right up to the edge of this stream, and there's a big boulder pile you got to crawl across to get across the stream. I will not be holding my camera while I do this, so you can just imagine it. Oh, look. It says be happy. And it's got pop in it. Trail magic. Yay! Wonderful view to the south. Off this little hill before Whitecap. I'll be going just a mile from the top of Whitecap today. Yeah, this is even a better view than the last. Just mountains and mountains. Down on these rocks. You can see a lot of times the blaze is an arrow painted on the rocks. All sorts of pretty pine trees up here. So a lot of this trail is dark. And as you can see, rooty, rocky, boards to cross. It makes it hard to get up to a good hiking speed. That's what took me so long yesterday. Oh, and I had a few visitors overnight. A couple something small, and then what sounded like a galloping moose at one point. Not sure if it was, but I'm glad it just galloped away. So, no other incidents other than I sleep a little bit tough, but I'll never sleep as good as I do in my hammock in a tent. It is what it is. It's a lot lighter to carry, and that's the reason I'm doing it. Good morning. Well, I didn't make it as far as I wanted to yesterday. I got a late start, and it was 4 more miles, and it was getting late. I wouldn't have been there till almost dark, so I opted to start early, which means over the next couple days I got to make up that time. So hopefully I can get at least 16 in today. Beautiful day. You'll see all the trail. Pretty out. Still a ton of mosquitoes. Buzzing all around. Spent half my time swatting them. Well, it's an interesting tree. I think it needs a bra. Sagging over there. Well, I wouldn't impose anything on a tree that I wouldn't do. Onward and upward. Okay, starting to get a little steep. Came from there and going up there. Logan Brook. This is where I was supposed to stay, but just couldn't quite make it. And I'm glad I didn't try, because it was a pretty steep climb up to here. There's water down there, last water before I go over the top of the mountain for about 6 miles, so definitely getting water. Now, even though it's cool, you can see how much I've sweat coming up that hill. It was definitely a climb. Definitely. And all the roots and everything just make it slow. Now, this is the inside. Definitely not a big shelter, but there are several tent sites not too far from here, so that's good. Looks like a little Jim Beam got up here. So, 1.4 miles to the top of the mountain, and 7.2 to the next lean-to. Trying to make it to the river, that's 12.4. This next 1.4 miles promises to be steep, according to everybody. And there's no water, so I'm carrying some extra water until we get over the top of the mountain. 7 miles to that next lean-to. Climbing up the top of White Cap. The stairs are starting to seem endless. Just when you get done with one set, another one appears. I've got to be getting close to the top here pretty soon, though. Almost to the top, right up there. You notice how all the trees don't grow very high up here. That's because it's a rough place to live. Last time I tried to come through here in June, there was still 3 or 4 foot of snow. So I didn't do that. Up to the top pretty quick. It's a 100-mile wilderness. About 50 miles of it. All the way up to Catan. That's right. Not doing very good. Right in the middle of the screen. Right there it is. Top of Whitecap. All the way around. It's quite a climb up here. It seems like it's a never-ending climb. Boy, just as quick as a second, I was sitting up on Whitecap and a huge wind came up. You see I got my puffy on. Yeah, it like froze me in a few minutes. Plus about knocked me over. You really have to watch these ridge lines. They are very unpredictable. I was sweating before that. So, heading down. Actually, down, up, down, up. Try to get down off these collection of mountains before tonight. We'll watch the ground. It's breathing. Scared me at first, but it's that tree not rooted in very well. A lot of brush. Doesn't help keep the mosquitoes down. Because it's so swampy. You can see there's a big swamp over there. Unfortunately, no moose this morning. Keep seeing all this moose sign, but no moose. And I'm up fairly early, so if there was going to be any, they would have been out. This isn't a bad part of the trail. At least not so many rocks. Gulf Haggis Stream. There's a pretty little waterfall. Now we go along this stream for 2 miles. I've probably been along it for a mile already. And then after that, it's just a walk in the woods, so to speak. I just came from there, and we're going up, that. Here's the West Pleasant River. So, my hand sandals on, as you can see. Getting ready to cross. I don't think it should be a problem. It's pretty low. I won't get up to my knees anywhere. Well, it looks like water's sort of slim after this, so I'm going to load up. Oh, it's humid today. My pants are soaked, and not from rain, and so is my shirt. Working my way up Chairback Mountain. Slow going. Must have tweaked my knee on something, my right one, which is not the one that usually hurts, so not sure what I did to it, but been taking the vitamin I. Onward and upward. So, does this look like a trail to you? It is. There's a little white dot. There's another one. Crawl over the roots and go up there. Fun! Well, I made it all in one piece. You'll be glad to know. All the way up from down there. Climbing up through that little wedge. Pretty flowers. All in bunches. But up there, we got to get to the top of that. I'm hoping not straight up the side. So we'll see. Right now, we're just on top of these rocks up here in a little semi-flat area before we go up with all the little trees. So this is the rocks we have to climb over. Look, way up there. It's just a big boulder field. Oh boy. Well, I'm putting my poles away. Well, we made it to the top of this sucker. That was a climb from hell. No poles needed because you're hanging on with both hands for dear life. Man. Mary, I'm glad you're not here. You would not have liked that. Here's the view when you're laying down, looking out at the shelter. Not bad. Chair back lean-to. Getting up early tomorrow morning to try to beat the thunderstorms.